Homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. Not speaking too well today. Last week I showed you after I'd done the tidy up, and in my little white basket I showed you just a few fabrics which were to be my next quilt. I've been asked by a lady, hello Irene, from the US to make her a quilt. Specific colours, size, pattern, and so that's what I'm doing. And yes, my mojo has come back. Behind me, this is now 6 foot square. She wants an 8 foot square one. She wanted the Carpenterrs Wheel, which I've done in the 2 green colours because she loves green. There's flowers and that, and I've got to do another 2 borders to make it the 8 foot size. So yeah, my mojo is definitely back. Now I did take some footage of me doing the half square triangles that were used in making this carpenter square, but I didn't do the bit of me cutting it out, so I'll tell you now and then show you the footage. The background colour, I cut out 16 squares, 7.5 inches square. Also, I cut out 12 which were 6.5 inches square. Out of the darker green, I cut out 16 7.5 inch squares and 4 6.5 inch squares. Out of the teal colour, I cut out 16 7.5 inch squares, because the 7.5 inch squares we make into the half square triangles and trim them down. I know I'm going to do a border of quarter square triangles, and I'll probably take some footage of that and put it on, but I'll show you now the footage that I've got for making the half square triangles. These half square triangles I'm going to make now, 7.5 inches squares, and go from one corner to the next corner. You can use any marking implements you want, whether that be a chalk pencil. In my case at the moment I'm just using a normal pencil, and put your ruler from one corner to the next and then just draw down it. You can also use the erasable markers, heat erase or water erase, but it's just from one corner to the other. On these 8, and there is 3 groups of 8. This background with the light green is one group. This background with the dark green is another group, and one group of light green and dark green. Sorry about that, I forgot to press record. So you've got your squares, and the one that you put a line on is on the top. You put it on the light coloured fabric or on the dark. Line them up as best you can, and then take it to your sewing machine. I've got a 1/4 inch foot on here, so I know my stitches will be 1/4 inch away from the line. Doesn't matter which side you go on, because you'll be doing the other side in a moment, but because I like to chain piece, I'm doing them all on one side and then I'll come back and do them on the other side. Right, these are the ones I've got. Light green, dark green, 8 of those. Light green, cream ivory, 8 of those. And dark green and the cream ivory, 8 of those. Now you can take them to your cutting mat and just cut along your line, which is what I'm going to do, or you can get your scissors and cut along the line, but there's quite a few here, so I'll be using my rotary cutter. I'm using my small cutting mat to transfer everything around, and I have on here the 6.5 inch squares that I need, and also those half square triangles that I've just sewn, but these need cutting down to 6.5 inches. So let me show you. Let's find one of those ones. See, they are a bit bigger, so they need cutting down to 6.5 inches, so they'll match that. So what I've done, I mean, there are various different methods of doing it. You can get rulers. Rulers where you place them on and then cut, place on your sewing line and then cut. I haven't got that, I've got square rulers and that's it. I don't know how much it will pick it out, so I'll do one of each colour. I happen to have a square 6.5 inch ruler, and on the back of it I put 3 strips of this electrical tape so that it will actually butt up completely to the seam and make it easy for me to go round and cut it. Now I could come down, do it, but I'll cut a sliver off each bit. Oh. And it'll also take the dog ears off at the same time. So there it, because I've turned it, lay it exactly where I want it. That's it. What I will actually do off camera is take it to the end of my desk, and then I don't have to keep turning it all the time because I can get round several of the sides, and I didn't cut that all the way with me. Oh, there. So no biggie. Just there, and now it's the same size. So that's one of that colour, and I think you'll pick it out because it's a different colour than my mat. But I'm going to do them all now and then show you the layout. But I'll just come a bit closer and show you my ruler. It's a 6.5-inch ruler, and on the back of it I put there, it's like a ledge now, so I can butt my seam up to it, and it's an extra aid for you. There is the first quarter of the quilt laid out, and it took ages for me trimming them down yesterday. And that's all the bits of them. But now they're all trimmed, so I am going to sew these together. So that's the Carpenterrs Wheel. It's 48 inches by 48 inches, which is 4 foot by 4 foot. And now I'm going to put a few borders around it and try and make it 8 foot square, which I think I should be able to do that easy. But I thought I'd just bring you along. The layout that I did was not quite right. And when I took it to the sewing machine, sewed a few of them up, I realised I was going wrong, so I had to unpick that and redo it again. But it is, you do have to pay attention to where you are putting your half square triangles. But if I take it up a bit and come into shot, there are 8 squares across, and you make it in a quadrant, so they're all exactly the same, just moved around. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4, and that is the block that you want. So hopefully you can see that. The green square in the corner, and then count another 3 blocks over, and you've got, and also 3 blocks down, and you've got the total of 4 by 4. And you just make that 4 times and sew them all together. I'm rambling.